Ladies and gentlemen of my YouTube, it's your boy Asquad Walker with a early morning video. I got a lot of shit going on right now. My speedy boy, the HDMI conked out on it, but the display port and I'm pretty sure the DVI still works. I don't have a DVI cable to test it, but that was the monitor that I was including with the build that I was selling. So now I have to sell it separately. I got it on eBay for a pretty fair price. It's reduced because a lot of people know about, like, a lot of people use HDMI. Like, HDMI is one of the most common used interface. Like, not like only like tech aficionados and people who know about tech to a certain degree, what you know about DisplayPort and DVI. But the most common used port, the HDMI, doesn't work. It conked out on me yesterday. I do not know. I have a pretty good reason why. I was using a HDMI audio splitter, audio extractor box to try to use my new Razer Leviathan sound system with to try to use that Leviathan sound system with my PS5. I have a way to do it. I have a way to do it via Bluetooth. I'm gonna get the cord next, the Bluetooth dongle next week. But I was trying to use the little extractor box, and for some reason it worked. Here's the thing: the box worked before. I only used the shit once, and the shit just conked out my HDMI connection on my monitor. It first it fucked up my PS5. Like, my PS5, well, I thought it fucked up my PS. No, actually it did. It was a point where I switched the inputs and the shit just cut my PS5 off, and I couldn't cut it back on for a couple of seconds. I was like, hold the fuck up. So I refreshed everything, I unplugged everything, and my PS5 came back on. So I was like, oh, thank God. So my PS5 ain't like, my PS5 came back on. But then I realized the real victim of this was my HDMI port. And my HDMI port and my Speedy Boy. Now, after I did all those unhooks, it came back like my PS5 was working on the Speedy Boy. And a few minutes later, it just conked out. It's like the weirdest shit ever. That shit was dumb weird. Now, the display port works, and I'm pretty sure the DVI works, but the HDMI on my Speedy Boy, done. And then I went to hook up my PS5 to my Curve Boy, and it came right on. So I'm like, oh, thank God. And then I tested multiple cables, and I'm like, okay, it's not the cables. It's all the cables came right on. So I'm like, damn, it was that dumbass extractor box. So when you're using HDMI audio extraction boxes, be careful with those shits. Because those shits, if used improperly, like, I bought this Amazon brand called Amanka or some bullshit like that. It worked once. I used it once when I was playing. When I was it was a week where I was just playing RPG games. I was playing Indivisible because that was a pretty fun game, and I was anticipating it a lot. I'm pretty far. I was playing Indivisible, so I was, instead of having to have my headphones, because after a long period of time your headphones get uncomfortable. So PS5 don't really have like, it doesn't have like an optical output. You have to do everything through like HDMI if you want like to hook it up to like a sound system or something. I was like, fuck. So that's why I even bought that box. So it worked once. I used it when I was playing Indivisible, and I was getting some pretty good sound. I'm like, all right. I stopped using it for a while. That shit just broke. I'm like, what the fuck? I only used the shit once. So I threw that shit away immediately. But the casualty in this is my Speedy Boy. RIP. Well, I can't say RIP because it still works, but the most common used interface doesn't work. And even if you try to trick it, let's say you try to use a display port, the HDMI adapter thingy, that will not work. That shit will not come on. I guess the monitor is self-aware or some Skynet shit, it will not work. But if you plug in DisplayPort, like when I was plugging in my main rig, I use DisplayPort. When I plugged my computer into the DisplayPort, came right on. When I plugged that computer into the DisplayPort, came right on. So I'm like, oh fuck, that's the weirdest problem ever. I ain't never seen no shit like that. Normally, it's the other way around. Like when I was looking online through forums and shit, when I went to Google search, the main problem was the other way around. Normally it'll be the DisplayPort conks out and the HDMI still work. That shit was crazy. But due to that happening, I can no longer bundle this monitor with that system. I could, but I'm not including a DisplayPort cable because I don't have a spare one. So due to that, I'll just sell the monitor. I got it on Fleabase separately. I'll just sell it on eBay separately. It's up there for like $70. So I'm selling it on eBay for $70. No free shipping. Like, shipping is expensive for that, so I have to get a box from my job to ship it. But other than the HDMI not working, DisplayPort works, and I'm pretty sure DVI works. So it'll still be a fair monitor, but I reduced the price to the system dramatically due to that happening. So now I got the system on my Facebook Marketplace for like $550. That's a pretty fair price with no monitor. It got, and you know, the specs are described in the Marketplace post. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody on my YouTube watching and interested in it, it's on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook. It's on my Facebook Marketplace. My Facebook name is my real name, Adam Walker. So if you see it up there, token black guy. If you see it up there, if you want to inquire about it, it's up there. Read through the specs. Don't message me with no bullshit offer, because more than likely, it depends on how I'm feeling. If I feel like I'm in a giving you good advice, then I'm gonna tell you about yourself. Like, look, don't go in people's messages with no bullshit ass offer, because if you play stupid games, you're gonna win stupid prizes. Get your, like, if in the words of the great Andrew Tate, that's brokey behavior. If you go into somebody's messages inquiring about something with a price that you know you wouldn't want if you were selling it, that low ball offer shit, that's brokey behavior. That is brokey behavior. I don't like brokies. I don't associate myself with brokey behavior. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna buy something, shoot a fair price. You know what I'm saying? The price I got is fair. It's pretty much non-negotiable. So my price is fair. For the specs that you're getting and the amount of storage space, that's unheard of, because most of these PC builders on the internet, you only getting not that much space. You're not really getting, because they only thinking about like gamer. They're not thinking about the gamer, the streamer, the content creator. Like, the computer I built, you can do everything. You can do all that. I got 32 gigs of RAM, 7.5 terabytes of combined space. All the apps you need for streaming. Got Discord, Streamlabs, OBS. Now, I didn't configure anything. That will cost you extra. I didn't configure anything, but it's all there. So it's nothing but a plethora of YouTube videos that can walk you through doing that shit yourself. But everything is there. And all of the game launchers is installed too. I think I got the Epic, I got the Rockstar, I got the I don't know if I downloaded Origin, but you could download it. I know for a fact I got Steam on there. So everything is there. This is a great mid-range 1080p computer. That's it. Like, you can do some 4K, but you ain't running like no crazy FPSs in 4K. And it's pretty decent in 1440p as well, but it's flawless for 1080p gaming, streaming, broadcasting, blah blah blah. It comes with a webcam. Like, it comes with a webcam. It comes with a speaker system now too. So you got everything you need. But don't inbox me with no bullshit ass offer. Just don't waste either one of our times. Don't inbox me with no dumbass offer, because you know it's dumb. I know it's dumb. Don't be a fucking idiot. Don't be a brokey. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, this is what I'm working on right now. This is one of the infamous Dell Optiplexes that for some reason my YouTube subscribers love when I work on these. So this is the last one I'm going to build for this year. This is an emulation build. All right. Now you can run games on it on low settings because it has a GTX 730. I'm not upgrading the card. Now, if you want, if any of my YouTubers want to like purchase this, or if anybody on my marketplace want to purchase this, I'm gonna have it up there for $375. That's a beyond fair price. I was actually aiming for $4, considering that I had to buy launch box, right? And that shit, the lifetime version of the lifetime premium version of launch box is $75. So pretty much like that joint was dumb expensive. And now I have to configure all of this shit. That is gonna take I'm gonna try to wind it down within to like 3.5 hours. I'm moving the ROMs and stuff over. Now Launchbox is a phenomenal front end. It's very easy to use and it's free, but you don't get none of the features that assist you in doing the stuff you need to do for the free version. And it doesn't categorize all of your games in the free version. I think it's like a game limit or something. It's like a ROM file limit or some shit. It's a limit on the free version. It's always a limit on the free versions. Well, I paid $75 for the Ultra version. And now I'm going to spend a good chunk of my morning configuring this shit because I know what a front end is. I know a little bit about this stuff. Now I know what a front end is, and I was like, okay, so it's a front end, so that means it's just like a UI, and it doesn't have none of the. I know it's not gonna have none of the ROMs, and I realized it didn't have none of the emulators either. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta really configure this shit. Like I really have to work. Like this is work outside of my mundane labor Home Depot job. This is work. So that's what the price reflects. I might still include a controller. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold your breath on that. I'm probably not, but I'm going to at least configure everything. I'm going to configure everything so if you used a wired Xbox One controller, like one of these shits right here, like if you bought one of these from GameStop for like $30, you could plug it in and everything will work. And the buttons would be set and everything. Or you can configure them yourself. Whoever buys it, great. More power to you. So, yeah. I'm selling this build for $375. I guess if you wanted this monitor with it, I'll do an extra $20 for the monitor. But it's going to be designed for you to hook up to your TV. So let's say you got like a media room or like a living room and you want to just run all the emulated like retro stuff. I'm going to have everything up the GameCube. Like I just got like the PS2 emulator. I'm going to configure everything, and I got Dolphin, so I'm going to configure all of that too. So I'm going to put a couple of I'm probably like, I'm not going to go too crazy with the PS2. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the PS2 and the GameCube. I'll probably put like 20 titles, like 20 solid PS2 titles, 20 solid GameCube titles, and then that'll be it. It's gonna have arcade, Neo Geo, MAME, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, the works. I got the ROMs and everything, so it's gonna have the works on it. Hence the price. Everything is going to be dummy proof. I'm going to idiot proof this as much as possible. And that's making a bold statement. Like it's going to be nearly dummy proof. Like you would have to try to fuck it up. I don't know why. Like, most cats like challenges, though. Like, motherfuckers on the internet like challenges. Hey, I can fuck it up in a day. Hey, you fucked it up. You spent $375 for it. So, I don't care what you do after you pay me. But, yeah. So this is what we're working on. This is the last Optiplex that I'm gonna work on for a while, unless somebody wants one and wants to pay me to do one. I guess I'm not gonna spend my money on another one. These were fun though. I will say these Optiplexes were fun, and the shit that you can do with them, like the one that I did for my nephew, that one was top tier. Like when I was playing Fortnite on, even though it was DirectX 11, but I was playing on high settings. That was good. I was like, wow, this ain't bad. So, which leads me to what I'm about to tell you next. You can if you want this to be gaming instead of an emulator joint, the only upgrades you will need is a better power supply. I would say probably, I always say play it safe, go with a 600, but you could probably get away with a 550. But it's this brand on Amazon that I use. They call Apiva, and you can get a 600 watt Apiva semi-modular for like $40, and they're good. Like they're gold too. They got some gold ones, they got some bronze ones. Like my 1,000 watt, my 1,000 watt is gold. Like the 1,000 watt I got, my 1,000 watt Apiva is gold. But they got 60 watts. They got 600 watts. They got 700 watts for like $40, within the $40-$50 price range. If you're gonna upgrade this to a gaming machine, I say it don't even need to be semi-modular. The semi-modular will make it somewhat easier, but even if you're not going with semi-modular, just get a regular non-modular one for like 40. I seen one for like $35. Like a $35 Apiva 600 watt. Then you will need I would say the optimal best spec graphic card to use in one of these builds. I've said it on countless videos, but I'm going to say it again. A 1660 Ti or a 1660 Super, you can get away with one of the dual fan ones because those dual fan ones are small, like the Asus joints. They're kind of small compared to the gargantuan graphic cards that exist. They're kind of small, but you got to take in accountability about that little Dell thingy, the little closed bracket thingy. If you get if you saw in my last video when I used the 1650, I had to take that whole thing off in order to put that GPU in there. I had to take that whole bracket thing off. So if you don't want to take the bracket thing off, you want to get like a ITX 1650 4 gig. You can get away with a 1650. You can get the optimal is a 1660. Get an ITX one. That way the little fan shroud thing don't block the little Dell closed bracket, and you can close it and you're Gucci. Those two upgrades, you could turn this into a respectable gaming machine. Depending on the game, you get a lot of FPSs and some really good frames. There's some really good gaming experience. But those are going to be the upgrades you're going to need if you want to take this from an emulation build to a full-on mid-range gaming build. But what I'm doing with it, what I'm selling it for, emulation. It has a 2 gig 730 GT, which should be more than enough to run all the way up to PS2 and GameCube. That should be more than enough. But if you watch the video when I did before I upgraded that last Optiplex, the parts out of there is what I put in there. That 400 watt power supply, that 730 GT, all of that is in here now. It got 16 gigs of RAM. It has the great grail of the 3790 i7, which is, like as one of my commenters say, as one of my subscribers say, it's a trusted warrior. In these builds, to get the maximum efficiency, you want to get that 3790. That's what I'm gonna tell you. So I got I don't know what happened. Maybe it's an influx, because it's an influx of people buying them. It was cheaper. Like I went from paying $40 for the last one that I got for that last build. I paid $33 for this one. So that was like a $7 to $6 decrease, which is cool. I'm seeing a lot of them on there for $35. People are seeing the magic of these 3790s, and people is like, hey man. I'm like, oh, okay. You can actually get away with a 3790K. Those are going to run close to $100, but you would only get one of those if you're trying to get if you're turning one of these into a gaming build and you want to get better frames and you want to get like significantly better frames. But if you go that route, please make sure you upgrade your power supply and you put the latest BIOS. The last BIOS for this build, the last BIOS for these PCs is the Dell A20. That's all done. So the BIOS is updated. I got all the drivers. I'm about to turn this into a retro emulation powerhouse. I'm thinking I'm really have a lot of faith in this launch box, because if it's really a front end, if it's really a great front end that once you load it up, it makes selecting all of this shit easy. I don't know. I might use it for one of my bills. You know, I did buy the license for it, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think I'm breaking the rule. I'm not distributing the license. I'm building a computer and selling it. And this is the only one I'm selling. I don't think I'm going to build another one of these for emulation no time soon. This is the one. This is probably, like I said, this is probably one of the last Optiplexes, one of the last 3020s that I'm going to work on for a while. They were fun though. They were fun. Like turning these little Dell business joints into like gaming joints, that was pretty fun. I'm telling you, like if you wanted to open up like a cyber cafe or some joint like that, and everybody played like games like CS:GO, Fortnite, and Apex, you can get 10 of these, right? These would be cheap. 10 of these would be cheap. Then you would have to get the i7 if you're gonna go like a gaming cafe, like buy like 10 of these in bulk and make like a cyber gaming cafe. You would have to have the i7. It would be pointless to get the i5s. The i5, because one of my other nephews have the i5, but he's a kid, so he's like 9, so I don't need to go super duper specs. I have to go super duper specs with his, but it's pointless to get anything other than the 3790. That's the top tier processor for these builds. You would have to get those. Now, if you can luck up and get like a discount, like if you're getting 10 or more, and you know, some eBay sellers, because that's the only place I see you getting them. You got eBay sellers that got like a shit ton of them, and they give you a discount if you buy in bulk. Boom. Then you'll have to go with graphic cards. So I'm thinking if you're lucky to get 10 1660 Ti's or 1660 Supers, the ITX ones, you might could get 10 for like in the 1100. If you could get it any lower than that, go for it. Like if you get them for like, if you can get 10 of them for like around 800 or some shit like that, just under 100 or just under $1,000, boom, that's phenomenal. You can actually use the core cooler. You don't have to do what I do. You can I don't like using the stock cooler. I always get like that Thermaltake joint, the Thermaltake Gravity. I always get that one. But if you for the sake of budget of getting like, you know, enough of these to do like a cyber cafe thing, for the sake of budget, use the stock cooler, use the stock fan, clean the fuck out of it, and boom. Oh, RAM. I always use like the gaming RAM that off of Amazon, the little cheap Chinese brand, but the heat spreaders are really good on those. Those are really good heat spreaders. And those are about $22 for a 16 gig kit, and as you know, these only capacity is only up to 16 gigs, so that's $22. Or if you want to go cheap and get like just the RAM sticks that don't have the heat spreaders, go that route, which is cool. They're just cheaper, but me personally, I prefer the RAM with the heat spreaders. So just in case you want to like overclock something, you won't have any problem like with heat management or anything. But yeah, this is another build. This is the next to the last build that I'm selling in entirely for the end of this year. Like after the next build that I'm building, it's gonna be a 10th Gen i5 build. I'm gonna try to fandangle it for like around the same price I'm selling that for. I'm gonna try to have it in the same price bracket. I'm not building no more PCs for this year. I'm not gonna say I ain't building no more PCs forever, because something might come up. But I won't be like doing like YouTube builds or anything like that for a while. I'll probably do what I really wanted to do, what I was trying to do anyway. I was trying to like, put more streaming content out, because you see I got the Curve Boy, I got the Logitech 4K Brio webcam. So that's what mainly I wanted to do, is start like streaming content, streaming unlabeled randos, because the randos I get when I play video games are like beyond trash. And I'm like, yo, I know y'all got some better randos in the back. Like, let me get the randos out the back. And they give me the budget box randos, and they always do stupid. Well, most of the time I get the budget box randos that do dumbass shit. Like, I'll be like, hey, let's go over here. They're like, nah, we gonna go over there. And then they get put down, and then I'm like, what did you expect? And then they always like, Fortnite cats just leave. And I'm like, you deserve that L. You went over there, you got put down. What the fuck did you expect? The Call of Duty randos I get, I gotta start playing Modern Warfare 2. I bought that game at launch, did all the I think it was something after Vanguard. Like when Vanguard came out and cats hyped that shit up, they had the Migos perform and all that shit. And then after 3 months, motherfuckers stopped playing that game. I never started because I don't like them old ass guns. Now, if they ever bring Vanguard on PlayStation Plus, I'll get it then, because I'm gonna keep my PlayStation Plus subscription updated, so I'll get it for free with PlayStation Plus. But would I ever spend money on Vanguard? Hell no. That shit gonna stay right there. I don't really like the old World War II games, because I don't like them old ass guns. Them old ass guns are hideous. I'm like, y'all use these to kill people back then? Put these shits away, man. Like, put them shits in the scrap heap. Leave them shits right there, yo. Like, I hate them I hate them old ass guns. I like up to date guns. Like, I don't like them old ass shits. But yeah. So this is just me ranting and rambling for like about a significant amount of time, killing time while these emulators and ROMs copy over. And then I'm going to spend most of my morning configuring this shit. And then hopefully some lucky buyer will get it in their living room, hook it up to their TV, and have an abundant amount of fun. But that's the goal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for y'all today. I gotta go to work tonight, so I might have another video for y'all probably sometime this week. All right, well, peace.